everyone, it's Dwayne from Canada's National Firearms Association. We're here in Calgary with Soos from Rebel News, and we're at, what would you call this event? Kind of a freedom?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Rebel News Live, but it's a very freedom-focused event with some speakers, some incredible guests, and obviously some incredible organizations like yours out here displaying, sharing some of the important work you do. So really great to be here.
And it's been really good for us. The reception has been amazing, like seeing the amount of people that are really interested in that freedom movement, right? So, but yeah, and that's something we battle every day as gun owners in this country. I mean, that's why we call ourselves the scapegoats. The government's always coming after the wrong problem and, things like that, but yeah.
Well, the laws, one of the issues is the laws aren't tackling actual firearms crime. They're going after law-abiding citizens. They're going after people who do everything right, follow the rules, and just participate in this sport, whether it be hunting, whether it be target shooting, that they absolutely love. So I think it's so important that you guys are here. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and continuing to provide education for people. There's folks out there who's maybe, I mean, myself included until quite recently, just never had exposure, never had the opportunity to handle and learn about firearm safety. So the work you're doing is so important. Thanks so much for advocating for firearms users.
And thank you. And there's so many people that, like you said, that are uneducated about it. And that's one thing I try to do. Always invite them out to the gun range. Come with us on a shoot. Do anything. Come and learn about it and learn about our culture and learn that we are not the same as what the Trudeau Liberals try to paint us as. We're not the same as the gangs downtown in Calgary or Toronto or Vancouver or wherever. We are a culture that has existed for hundreds of years now, right? And we've always been the most law-abiding, but yeah, it's a tough fight. So,
well, it's part of the Canadian fabric. It's part of freedom. Thanks again so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And to all your viewers, thanks so much.
Right on, and thank you.
Thank you.
Here we are in Calgary at the Rebel Live event with Sheila, Gunn, Reid. And Sheila, can you tell us anything about it, how the outcome is so far and what you see going on at the event?
So today's event is sort of like a one-day freedom convention. So we've brought in some speakers. We have a lot of, I think, the public's favorite rebels, including myself, here to speak. And some of our speakers, like right now on the stage, we've got Billboard Chris. We've heard from lawyers who fought for freedom during the pandemic, and other people from the freedom community, like Canada's National Firearms Association, people who care about property rights and fighting back against government overreach. And I think it's been very well received. There are a lot of other things that people could be doing on, I think, one of the nicer November Saturdays I've ever seen in my life.
That's amazing.
But it's well attended, and people are very receptive to the messages they're hearing.
Big time. And it's funny you bring up property rights. A lot of people don't realize when they're talking about guns that guns are property and how much their rights are under attack right now. And like one of the questions I had today a few times, a few people asked me, do you think they'll eventually come after our bolt action guns? And I'm like, they already did. Over 2,000 guns were banned through the Order in Council. They took out a Ruger single shot falling block. They took out 10 gauge goose guns. And, so it doesn't just stop at what they consider to be assault rifles.
Right. I think there's a 410 bird gun on that Order in Council also. I mean, the Liberals are doing what the Liberals will do, and that's gun control every time that they're in power. And the Liberals have been completely dishonest about their gun grab from the very beginning. They sold it to the public as an assault rifle ban, but I just told you they put a 410 bird gun on there. I don't even know if that's an assault gun if you're a robin. You know what I mean? And we've heard the Liberals say that we are not coming after your hunting rifles. And then they definitely did.
And they did.
And they said, this is only going to cost between $700 and $800 million. Now we're ballooned up to $2 billion, and there's no possible way that the compensation for confiscation program that they call the buyback, there's no possible way that it can stay at $2 billion, because they don't know where these guns are or who has them.
It's crazy, but it boils down to eventually, I'd say, mass disarmament in a long-term goal for them, right? So
Yeah, and also, Liberals like to be perceived to be doing something about the problems they themselves have created. So we look at the rising crime rates in Canada's progressively run big cities. We see the Liberals' soft on crime approach. We see their soft on the border approach, when we know the majority of illegal firearms in this country have been trafficked across the border. But instead of dealing with the hard issues, Liberals take the path of least resistance, going after the most law-abiding portion of Canadian society.
right, and in the 3 years that the Ordered Council has been in place, not one bit has crime come down at all because of it. In fact, it's actually gone up. And again, like you said, they're not doing anything about gang-related violence in the streets of Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, wherever, all the big cities. And in the end, it's people like you and I that are losing our guns, but the criminals still have them.
Well, and if you look at the Liberals' approach to their gun grab, they announced the Order in Council like that, no real consultation with any actual gun owners, groups representing gun owners. But it had to be done in such an undemocratic way that they did it in an Order in Council because those guns were just so deadly they had to get them off the street. And yet they will remain in our arms for 5 years before they even are able to sort out how they're going to pay us back for the things they're taking from us.
Exactly. Well, thanks for everything you do for us, Sheila, and thanks for being a voice out there and always helping us get our voice out to the public as well. So,
well, I just want to thank you and Canada's National Firearms Association for fighting for the rights of families like mine and for my ability to pass along my family heirlooms to my children. That's one thing that I don't think people understand, is it's not just about firearms, it's about our family histories and it's about our culture.
and you're right about that. I won't be able to pass my firearms on to my children either because of it. So yeah. All right, well, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.